Hello everybody, it's Wyvern here, back with a bit of continuation for our Norscan campaign. So, last time around, we were kind of running amok. We finally wiped out Throg the Troll King, or I guess confederated him. Uh, we've been destroying Empire or Empire provinces, kind of just running ham and destroying everything in our path, really. As you can see, I do have a bit of a motley assortment of units. So I was still working on quests, trying to get monster hunting going, recruiting new units, all that sort of stuff, building up my provinces. And yeah, just slowly but surely building up. I do ultimately want to get the Sword of Torgal. That's definitely something that's on my mind. But currently, kind of just taking up economy, all that sort of stuff. And for those of you who don't know, there was a recent patch from Norska. This is, of course, it was a bit of a hotfix patch, so basically a bunch of nerfs, really, is what it came down to. And I do believe this was an end turn. There wasn't anything else, really. I basically broke and don't have anything to do there. But Norska got some pretty major nerfage, really. Over here, I'm suffering from, well, characters aren't really bringing this up very much, so I can actually leave and be okay. I think I can take Wulfrik out for a march, go back, retake Kislev, all that sort of good stuff. Norden is, of course, at risk of revolt, but I think I can shuffle Boogie on out of here with Throg for a turn. I don't know what. Unfortunately, the AI invested in a bunch of Marauder abilities, which are really bad on Throg. I'm honestly tempted to just drop him. I'm not a big fan of, but I can't, I don't think, actually I can replace him with a, intelligence is pretty solid. I think I'll just take an intelligence chieftain and just get rid of Throg. Because for all these good intents or whatever, Throg is pitiful. I'm going to shuffle this guy, Boogie on over to the Longship Graveyard, pick up some new units, kind of upgrade my roster and all that sort of stuff, and then shuffle on out of here with, yeah, hopefully build some quick, cheap units. Build some. I already have trolls, but I can crank out a few. I can crank out a few new units, and yeah. Definitely get some value out of that way. I'm going to keep marching along with Wulfrik, trying to retake Kislev, and honestly, just apply pressure to the dwarves over here. They wrecked Kislev, or they caused a revolt that wrecked Kislev. And over here, this army can honestly march south, I think. The Tower of Crack, well, let's see. How is it doing? It's -6 happiness. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to sit tight for a little bit longer. Until this happiness is finally counteracted, hopefully with growth and all that sort of stuff. I definitely want to farm these dwarves for money, though. Norden over here is slowly trying to build up. Erengrad is in the, well, barely sitting around the green. They're still climbing corruption-wise, though. And so hopefully they'll eventually hit the green for public order. And once I finish, well, let's see. Eventually, if I finish Marauders of the West, I'll definitely be well in the green. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this turn. So yeah, there were changes to Norska, and obviously these were both campaign and multiplayer changes. As far as I'm aware, there were some other changes as well. So I guess I should go over the smaller stuff first. Chaos had some. Let's see, rather than defending Kislev, I'm gonna march south. Go see if I can jump these dwarves. Just crush them for good. But I guess first and foremost, let's see what I'm going to need. Yeah, that's okay. So first and foremost, Chaos got a bunch of rebalance, slight tweaks. Not really massive changes, but they got a bunch of little tweaks to their Looks like Empire's actually improving. Relationship with me is actually improving. But Chaos got a whole bunch of tweaks to their Regiments of Renown. The Mirror Guard, I do believe, went down in cost. The Demon Spew went up in cost. And which was the Regiment of Renown? Regiment of Renown. Wow, minus 1,000. That's lovely. But yeah, the Regiment of Renown, the Forsaken got went up in cost, and the Helicannon Regiment of Renown, I forget what it's called, but it went. That one, I'm not going to be able to do this battle with this army right now. This is a rather pitiful army. But I'll level up this Tower of Crack, I suppose. Keep marching along with Wulfrik. And the dwarves are camped out over here. I don't really have the best of armies to deal with dwarves. My best bet against them is really to abuse the hell out of the mammoth. Then again, their units aren't particularly great either, and as long as I can kill off their lord, I should be okay. But as you can see, this lord or this hero here, I think, is causing some disruption. Though maybe not the worst of the worst things to happen. I could get some trolls, I guess. I don't really like trolls. I don't, except for Throg, and Throg is really pretty bad. I'm not a fan of trolls really at all. Just gonna recruit some cheap marauders, just get some units in the field, and then boogie on back. And I really need to get my income up and going, if at all possible. So yeah, the Chaos got a bunch of reworks. There was a slight nerf to not Grail Pilgrim, Battle Pilgrims from Bretonnia, which surprised me a little bit. They lost some melee attack or melee weapon strength, but nothing huge. It was like 2 normal attack, I think, and 1 AP. So just makes them a little less strong. They were already one of the Bretonia's most powerful infantry by far. They kind of crush most units pretty effectively. So I don't know what to. I could try to attack these guys, but I really don't have the army for this. I'm not really causing enough disruption. And I don't think I can really fight them because I simply don't have, I have berserkers. Skinwolves aren't going to do great against dwarves. There's a lot of grudge throwers though. So I think I'll just sit tight and raid for a bit. I could try to abuse the mammoth. Wulfrik obviously is very strong with the mammoth, but I do have Sea Fang and a ward save, so I don't know. I just don't have much armor piercing at all. The only armor piercing units I have is these marauders with great weapons. And gonna level the blades up, and over here in the longship graveyard, gonna level the longship yard up, and gonna boogie on over to Norden with my army. But there were some pretty big changes for Norska. So Norska lost, or Norska's Werkin got nerfed a whole bunch. They lost 5 attack and 5 defense, and they've become more expensive. Skinwolves have gone up by 100 in cost, which is interesting. I was a little surprised by that, honestly. That wasn't something I expected, really. But yeah, Skinwolves went up in cost. Mammoth's got nerfed. Mammoth's now attack slower, which is also a little bit surprising. I think I'm gonna go for this army is 20 stack. He doesn't have fortifications. I don't know what's in this garrison. Longbeards, Thunders, Rangers. This is the problem. I really don't have armor piercing, and so many low end, they're pretty much garbage units still. I think I'll just sit tight and raid for a bit. Once I've kind of stabilized, this is also a good source of income, so it's okay. And I'm gonna get Mirage to the west. I guess I could get Bang of Moors. I really need the boost there. So here I should definitely boost my Raiders camp. I really need to get some of these units up and running. I think we're gonna send this army out and go help, send him to help Wulfrik, because the penalty for I'm gonna move here and start and enter raiding stance, which will cause the revolt to start, and that should give me the opportunity to crush that revolt, farm some money, and yeah, should be good. So let's see, and that's it for me. So yeah, whole bunch of nerfs. The Marauders javelins also got nerfed. They've gone up in price, and now they have less ammo. That was definitely probably necessary. It was a pretty, I wouldn't say necessarily, it wasn't necessarily an overpowered unit, but it was a very cost-effective unit, especially in a quick match. Didn't make as much of a difference in yeah, Throg's back. Nobody gives a darn. He's so bad. Melee attack is nice, and it's funny. Two factions run. I'm raiding my own people, but oh well. And I can easily. This is one of these like ridiculous AI comps, and I can sacrifice them, get a little bit of money out of that. And I can get terror, which is nice. I'm gonna throw that on. Actually, I'm gonna throw that on my. I guess on my lord. Just kill this guy. Nice. A little bit of money. That's never a bad thing. Unfortunately, my chaos corruption is going down actually until Norden grows, which is still going to take a while. But until Norden grows, I really don't want I don't want Throg to have all these units. Throg is, I'm done with Throg. Drake Hunter's banner. Oh, that's okay. And here I could definitely get some Scaling Trader, Dragonborn, right? Slave workers, and steal something off Throg. There's not much left to steal off Throg. It's gonna take a war banner. And I'm gonna march this army south. And I can get a marble quarry, which is pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. Making 1,000 turn here with Wulfrik still raiding around. I'm gonna get a attempt of his. The money's good. I'm just gonna sit tight and keep sieging. It looks like the probably vampire counts are sieging over there, and Middenland is getting cheeky and expanding a lot, which I'm not too proud of. I'm gonna have to deal with Karak Angor and then strike out from there. Got Root March over here. Gonna get Norse Resilience. I think that's practically mandatory. Actually, I think I'm gonna get Swelling of Doom. This guy, I think I'm gonna use him just to support. Like he's gonna help Norden here grow quickly, and at this stage of the game, I really need that that bonus. I'm gonna get a Slaver's Camp. Get as much income as I possibly can. The hunts obviously are pretty good. I don't necessarily want to rush them. I want to get rid of the dwarves first and like get rid of the threats. Get Kislev back under my control and all that sort of stuff, if at all possible. I really need to pull. At some point, I'm gonna have to pull Wulfrik back home, and that's a lot of catapult or a lot of grudge throwers. I think I'm gonna start besieging Karak Angor. It's definitely a pretty strong force. I don't really want to fight this. I don't have too much to plow through them. I'd have to rely on the mammoth, but they have a lot of skirmish units, being dwarves, of course. So I'd like to avoid that. So I can get Ruinous Flesh or Frenzied Assault. And I think I'll go for Frenzied Assault. Just go very aggressive with my Norscan army. Irongrad over here, I think is stabilizing. Starling Encampment needs to level up again. I'm simply trying to get these guys to undo all the negatives there. And as you can see, Norton's doing pretty well. Salzman doesn't like me. Once I crush the dwarves in Karak Angor, though, I think we're basically going to be set. I'll see if they strike out. I can't really afford to fight them in the field, which is unfortunate. But they simply have too powerful of a... what's Marienburg doing? Offering me peace? I can take it. I'm not too concerned about it. But Karak didn't attempt to bust out, which is pretty nifty for me. I'm gonna force march Inger Wavebreaker over here, and in the worst case I'll have to invade there, and but yeah, with 2 lords I think I still need to get this guy a War Mammoth as well, but with 2 lords I think I should be pretty well off for storming Karak Angor. It's just that with the 9 garrison and all these low tier units that just need to be dropped. I need to start replacing them for skin wolves and for champions and those sorts of units. They're pretty sick to have as Norska. Could get a plunder haul. I definitely need to. I want to reduce this upkeep if I possibly can, but. I can finally get mammoths. It's simply that I don't have an army there, or an army there to take advantage of it. So but yeah, the nerfs to Norska I think are okay. I don't think they're anything that crazy. I'm just not. I'm just a little surprised that the skin wolves got nerfed. I honestly didn't think they were particularly good. Maybe it's just be cautious travel magic. I don't think neither of these are particularly great, but I definitely want campaign movement range. So now this isn't a particularly armor-piercing heavy army either, but I do have at least the Marauder Hunters, and that's definitely a bit of a win. And as you can see, it still doesn't expect you to win, but I think that at this point I do definitely have a solid chance of doing it. So I'm going to fight battle. I'm just going to give it a go. And if things don't go well, well, so be it. Lesson learned. But I think that with the amount of hunters, their artillery is definitely going to be a nuisance. They have a lot of it, and those bolt throwers and the grudges as well, especially the bolt throwers and the thunders and the quarrelers. They're going to be a great nuisance. But the mammoth, Wulfrik on his mammoth is kind of my trump card here. Dwarves have very little to shut him down. So yeah, I'm actually going to leave the berserkers up in the siege towers. This does look like this is where I'm getting my reinforcements coming on board. So I'm simply going to spread my units out here. Get my marauders with great weapons up in the back. I want these guys to take the least amount of fire as possible. I'd much rather the fire was focused on some of my other units. I'm going to get Wulfrik going out the gate as soon as I can, alongside his cav contingent. The chariots are really kind of garbage here. The skin wolves at least can do some stuff, but it is what it is. And as you can see, immediately taking fire. Once Wulfrik gets in range, once I get these gates down, Wulfrik should do a pretty decent number on him. He does have Sea Fang. If he attacks it, I don't know, he's not... It seems that Wulfrik doesn't think it's his obligation to do much of anything to him, to the gates, but... A whole bunch of dwarf warriors up there, and all these guys over here are just getting focused fire. I'm not sure what they're doing, why they're all the way out there. Definitely not too pleased about it. The gatehouse, though, getting destroyed by Wulfrik fairly quickly. And I don't know... Oh, there we go. There's a lot of artillery fire coming in, and of course that is not good at all for Norska's quality of life. But I did get a tower clear, so I can now get my units out to the flank, get them over there, get these great weapons, climbing up the walls, get some marauders climbing up the walls, more great weapons, berserkers, some great weapons. And now I do have Wulfrik over here. I'm just going to plow straight into these longbeards. I'm gonna force path good old Wulfrik through him. As you can see, this is a withering fire just coming in like really hot and heavy and just destroying my units. The longbeards, of course, holding very well. Fortunately, they do not have slayers, otherwise this would be even more disastrous than it already is. Wulfrik over here shutting down the enemy range contingent. They're going to go after the dwarf warriors. Does look like my army's doing okay on the walls. The Werkin over here can go after him. I'm not entirely sure where my other lord went. I'm actually going to try to get him up on the walls against the longbeards with great weapons. I definitely need to swamp all over the longbeards and shut them down for good. Wulfrik, though, in the meantime, unfortunately, as you can see, Wulfrik is definitely getting like interfered on. I can try to pop Seafang, but it's not going to do much. I'll try to do it there. Unless I need to clear that. Do I need to clear out of sight? It doesn't look like I do. Get some damage on these. Yeah, but it doesn't. It's simply not that good. Now, I'm just trying to juggle everything, shut everything down with Wulfrik, but tower's still shelling away at my infantry. But hopefully, I'm hoping to just kind of swarm all over my opponent's units, bust through, and really get the ball rolling. Throwing axes and stuff at these squirrels. The squirrels are just so tanky. They have shields, so of course they cut into that. And I'm definitely interested to see how the Dark Elf matchup is going to be against the dwarves, because the Dark Elves have a unit with armor piercing. They are repeater crossbows of armor piercing, and they actually have fairly. The Dark Elves have repeater crossbows, and they have silver shields, which could definitely lead to some interesting kind of head-to-head. So some interesting like gameplay. One-to-one situations. Enemy lord is dead. I mean, I'm definitely winning the low ground here. Unfortunately, you can see Wulfrik is taking an absolute beating from all these ranged units. And Mammoth is still very susceptible, like even against AI, especially when you can only bring one Mammoth. It's an incredibly susceptible unit to all this kind of frustrating ranged fire. And there we go, popping the boat. I think I'm hoping I hit the. And as you can see, this is under fire from several ranged units, and granted they do have the support of the tower, but still, that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna push Wulfrik into the back, try to go up to these thunders because I really can't afford to have them shoot my units down. Gonna try to bog down. I do believe these are long reach with great weapons. Gonna push the Marauder Berserkers into their flank. They'll hold fairly well. I don't think there's any doubt about that, but I do need to somehow kind of swamp my opponent. I don't know what Wulfrik's doing. He's just kind of roaming around, not really sure what he's doing. But if I can tear out him, I think I got a solid chance. Over here, these units kind of just sitting around, need to get into the fight. The top of the wall doesn't seem to be going that well. I don't know where my lord is. He should be here fighting these Warforged great weapons. Or sorry, my second lord is. As you can see, Wulfrik's still doing work. This mammoth is definitely really useful. It's not as good versus, say, humans, because the mammoth is really not that good against humans because it's a more even fight, and the mammoth is very susceptible to ranged fire, all that sort of stuff. But you can see we're kind of just terror-outing these guys, terror-outing everything really, and able to just keep pushing through. As you can see, Wulfrik's just kind of stomping right through, like he doesn't care, just doing massive impact damage. I do definitely need to get on top of these rangers with great weapons, because they're definitely a major threat. Slowly but surely, though, kind of swamping my opponent here. Gonna have to deal with. I'm not sure why there's ladders going down. Not sure why these units are all sitting around doing nothing. They need to get moving. Wulfrik's getting melted down. Trying to get Wulfrik into the range of the great weapons is a bit of a pain, because they are by far priority target. Them and the Quarrelers, I guess. The chariots are normally good against dwarves, but not in this sort of like dense, compact situation. Some of my units are definitely starting to struggle. I'm going to pop Unbreakable on the Skin Wolves and pull them back. They're fast enough to bail out of trouble if they're forced to. And as you can see, my opponent's finally shattering. So definitely a bit of a rough game there for Wulfrik and co. The dwarves have a very strong presence in this sort of situation where you have very cheap, crappy, weak units. But as you can see, the Berserkers actually did okay, I guess. So maybe I shouldn't complain as much. Of course, the Skin will still perform fairly well. Yeah, this was definitely not an ideal matchup. The artillery does so much damage, and there's very little you can do about it. If you don't, obviously, you could try to run air units, but there's not too much access for them. I do kind of wonder how the Elven skirmishes are going to compare to the Dark Elf skirmishes are going to compare to the dwarves, because right now, in a straight up skirmisher fight, the only people who can beat dwarves, sort of, not reliably, but sort of, are wood elves, and it's not in a straight up fight. They have to kite, you have to micro them like crazy, because even for example, Way Watchers definitely gonna sack out initially. But even say Way Watchers are simply not able to toe to toe with. Gonna enter in camp stands here, get some money, and I guess I'll just enter raiding stands for this army. But it takes a lot of micro to make the wood elves. What can Wulfrik get? I already have Mammoth. I already have World Walker, all that fancy stuff. So I could get an even bigger charge bonus. Ultimately, get it up to plus 30, and that's, I think. Otherwise, I can go for Hardened Hunters. I can try to get his army a bit better. Despoilers. I don't know, he has some pretty cool cool abilities here. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not entirely sure which I want to be doing, but I'll just do that. Next turn I'll raise Karakongor. And that gave me a whole bunch. They gave me a whole bunch of money that I can now use to level things up. Aceling's Conclave over here. Slaver's Camp. I'm not actually sure what buildings I'm missing. I can get Skin Wolves. I can get Mammoths. I'll level that up. I'll level the Slaver's Camp up. I'll level this Slaver's camp up, and I'll start working on a loot pile. But I think the only structure I'm missing is... I actually think I have the ice roller. I've got to have the ice roller there somewhere. Oh, right here. I'll level it up. You get things leveled up all the way. Might as well. Like I said before, I'm not the biggest fan of Fimir or any of those units, but I'll try to make it work. And in the meantime, I'm trying to boost the growth here in Norden. I think I'm just gonna farm rebellions. I'll enter raiding stance. It's not like this territory is making me much money in the first place, so this way I can farm rebellions. And in the meantime, just kind of wait. This area is probably gonna stabilize before it revolts. Yeah, turn. I do believe Empire's gonna lose Beckhaven. I think they're under siege. I'm gonna have to counterattack against. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna have to counterattack against both vampires. Oh boy. This is actually really unfortunate because right now I just caused this revolt, and it's really not very good. And I do have some throwing weapon units. Cool. And I can sacrifice. I'll hop on a little bit and switch out of this format and wipe these guys out. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to hold against Northland, or if I'm going to be able to hold against them at all. But at least with this kind of farming the rebellions, I'll be able to level Norden up, and I'll be able to there we go. Be able to level Norden up, and I'll be able to level this guy up, get him swelling of doom, just get that massive growth bonus, get Norden leveled up to 3 as quickly as I can, and just counteract all these problematic issues. Get a Ruinous Altar up and running, get Beast Tanner. I need to raise Karak Ungor, so I'll leave that to Wulfrik. This is probably going to just be an auto-resolve. Yeah, this shouldn't lose anything. Obviously, you never know. Sometimes you get trolled. It's really frustrating. I think I've been raising things for the Hound this time around. So there we go. And I don't know if the dwarves can actually recruit anything. I don't know if they have or don't have any military buildings left. My Warkin has leveled up, so I can get him up to Vicious Assault level 2 there. He does have some units. Oh, actually, he has a lot of units. I didn't realize he has so many unit-producing structures in Cassid, or whatever it is, or Galas. I'm going to have to rush there as quickly as I can, just wipe that out, just stomp it out of the ground. The vampires being a pain in the rear, and I'm at war with Middenheim, so I can try to get some peace. Well, no peace. I definitely need to recruit more units, but right now I simply because I could recruit the Maws of Savagery, but they're very expensive, so I think I'll wait until an emergency arises to recruit units. Unfortunately, these annoying heroes just roaming around and causing trouble. They're going to be reducing my corruption, and there comes an army. I don't know if it's not quite mobile enough. I don't think. Norden's in deep trouble. That's really frustrating. I don't know what the garrison is in Norden. Norden's just leveled up, so income from smash their cities, I guess. And I won't be able to build a guard shack in time. That's going to take an extra turn. So what's the garrison? Two Marauder champions, actually. The Marauder hunters, Marauder spears. They're not terrible, but given the amount of shooting my opponents bring, definitely a big problem. I might have a solution, though. I'm going to bring the Beast of Tashanar and get the Soul Crusher. That is a huge last-second clutch unit for me. I'm hoping that can carry me through. It's still going to be an absolutely rough fight. Absolutely horrific fight. It does look like these guys got confederated by the dwarves. I think I'm going to take a turn of healing with Wulfrik. And I think I will take a turn of... Well, I'm going to move into a raiding camp stance here with Inger. Get some raiding done, steal some of their money, and then kind of raise Khazad-Nurgala's next turn with his army. Or sack it and then raise it the turn after. Ace-Linked Conclave doing okay. I'm definitely going to... This is going to be a monstrous fight, I think. And... that's really all I can do. I wish I could get this guy on a mount. I wish I'd built fortification, or had a turn extra to build fortifications, but none of those things have come to me, so I'm gonna have to fight it. Midland coming in hot and heavy. Oh boy. Well, on one hand, this is really bad. On the other hand, this is a lot less bad than I feared it was. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to resist. I'm going to fight it. I obviously have to. I'm going to give it my best shot and just see what happens. They don't have the biggest... it's a lot of artillery. Artillery's honestly not that great against Norska if I can just gap close. I have a lot of trolls. My trolls are high veterancy, so they shouldn't just rout off immediately. My Beast of Tashnar can hopefully get on their back line. And I'm not going to be able to gap close. I'm going to have to make a rush like very quickly and like right off the bat. So going to get my Chaos Champs up in the front. They're my best of the best. Gonna surround them with a bunch of Chaos Marauders, or Norscan Marauders, I guess. Just try to get an envelopment going and get spears on the flanks. Get just get this very wide, very fast closing formation. I do have a Lord, so then he causes terror, so that's control group 1. Gonna put him up alongside Soul Crusher, that's control group 1. Supported by... I'll put them in control group 3. They're just gonna be kind of like a... Them and the trolls are just gonna kind of be there to dive into hot spots where they're needed. Unfortunately, I have very little skirmish potential, so that's gonna be a very big sore point for me. I'm gonna struggle with that quite a bit, I think. I can forward deploy the Beast of Tashnar quite far up. And just try to make use of them. I'll try to get into my opponent's backline as soon as I can. And immediately just going to push forward. My opponent's army, of course, is going to be hitting the field. They don't have any Pistoliers, which is a huge win for me. I'm just going to try to get clear and into those woods over there with the... and of course, if I can just get the Soul Crusher in there, that would be the biggest thing. That would be the best win for me out of this whole. I'm gonna send them careening into the. Can't afford to let my trolls get too far ahead of my main army, but I can afford to let Soul Crusher get pretty far ahead. I'm gonna send Soul Crusher into the Free Company and hope that he can tank it out. And now I'm just kind of sending my Marauders in. As you can see, the Mammoth is just barging through those guys. I'm going to swarm them. Definitely going for those swarm techniques. Going to try to shut down those crossbows. Get my charges in. Get my spears in. And my Mammoth is just rampaging around, causing these guys quite a bit of hurt. I'm going to try to get some work done. They do have Outriders, but the Outriders are a lot less of a threat than their other units. And now I should have thrown the Trolls in a lot sooner. It does look like my Lord is probably... Oh no, he's actually doing really well against that guy. That's mildly surprising. I'm going to throw the Trolls into the fray. The Trolls are definitely a very high-end solid unit. I'm going to pop damage resistance on the Mammoth, and then try to tear out these Swordsmen off. And then kind of send this infantry in there. There's a lot of damage coming in from my opponent. I'm going to try to get on top of these Outriders as quickly as I can with the Beast of Tashnar. These Empire Knights are a huge issue. I don't know where my spears are. Unfortunately, they're chasing. That is definitely a big mistake there on my part. I'm going to try to get them in around their Lord. And the Beasts of Tashan are about to get on top of these Outriders, and they're going to be able to cut them up really, really quickly. The Trolls just crushing these Free Company militia. And if I'm just able to kind of stomp all over my opponent, I think I need to tear out these swordsmen if possible. I don't know what my Beasts of Tashan are doing. They should be running. They should be trying to gap close. These Outriders are slow. They have no excuse to not be dealing with them. Soul Crusher over here just stomping through these poor buggers. Unfortunately, my range contingent, this is a huge issue. I should have put him on guard. Big problem, big problem. Their Lord routed. It's a win. I don't know where the Beasts of Tashan are. They should be chasing the Outriders, and the Outriders can't shoot while they're being chased. These guys kind of just streaming away. Mammoth, just trying to rout them off. I'm going to lose these infantry units over here. They're going to rout, most likely. Definitely. The Trolls doing an okay job. I'm going to throw them into the spears. Obviously, that's not an optimal setup for Trolls. I don't know what these Trolls are fighting against. I'm going to try and get them up into the swords. Just kind of going to try to bounce the Mammoth around. And this seems to be working fairly well. The Beasts of Tashanar have hopefully caught... Oh, they finally caught the Outriders, and that's just going to be game over for the Outriders. As you can see, my axe throwers and all the skirmish units are kind of making themselves a good old nuisance. Now I'm going to have the pincer on my opponent here. I need to keep pressuring. I need to get these Empire Knights off me. The Trolls are actually performing really well. They're going to do well against the Knights too. Beasts of Tashanar are fine. Oh, they actually completely died. They just slaughtered them, or they just routed them off. I'm gonna go after the I'm gonna go after the handguns. The artillery crews are still really out of position. I'm gonna push into the flank. I really like how fast Marauder units are. It's a very beneficial thing. My Lord over here just shutting these guys down. These Free Company are just completely collapsing. I don't know where my Mammoth went. It's kind of unfortunate when you lose track of your own Mammoth. I think I'll be able to shut those guys down. So I'm going to send the Beasts against the Mortar. And yeah, just going to keep pursuing. Going to chase these spears. Going to chase the swords. Just going to keep trying to rout my opponent off the field if at all possible. Marauder spears getting into the flanks of these guys. Norse controls at the top of the... going to pop damage resistance on them. I don't know if these are handgunners or Free Company. Oh, those are handgunners. Those are a real problem. Going to get the trolls on top of them. Looks like their Lord is dead. I don't know where my beasts are. They're on top of the gun. And it does look like my opponent's army is simply routing at this point. I'm going to try to do some damage. I'm going to try to keep chasing him for a little bit. Slaughter the crews with the mortars, that sort of stuff. Make sure that they can't really quite capitalize on our... I could have, I guess. It's okay. I'm just going to end there. I don't really feel like chasing all that crap. Most of their units are really badly broken. They're probably going to regroup them. You can see the Mammoth did a huge job there. Almost 300 kills and just rampaged to their backline. But even the Marauders, with their upgrades and all that sort of stuff, they actually perform fairly well against Empire Infantry. Or really well in some cases. Trolls, good job. The Beasts, very good job. Tore through those Outriders. I don't know if they were slaughtered to man or what. They might have just routed right off the field because they were so close to the map edge, but... No, they were actually slaughtered to man. That's crazy. That's a really good performance. I'm going to be able to sacrifice them. I really don't need the leadership buff. Unfortunately, Midland has an army like right there, so I don't know if I'm really going to be able to pursue. But yeah, that's going to be it for that turn, and a nice solid win there. In the meantime, Wulfrik over here just kind of booking it across the map. I'm going to throw him into the march stance and just try to run as quickly as I can. I'm going to raise Khazad Ergolots. I want to make a kind of a no-go zone where the, or like a DMZ or whatever, where they're allied with the top knot. That is hilarious. I don't think I've seen this twice now, and once it was in my Bretonnian campaign. I actually ended up getting dragged into a war with the dwarves as Bretonnia because of the top knots. So I could sack. Definitely going to do that. Get some money because money is good. Enter raiding camp stance, and yeah, gonna get that Marauder Chariot. Next step, War Mammoth, and yeah, good stuff, good stuff. I could take Beckhaven, but I'm not too concerned with that. Erengrad does have a 9-man garrison, which includes ice trolls and some marauders. Against with the 7 stag with artillery, but artillery is actually, well, I have marauder champions. I don't really think my opponent has much that can show me. He does have knights, and he does have crossbows, but I do have trolls. So I think that all in all, I probably have the advantage there. I'm actually going to build fortifications. I wasn't going to do that originally, but I'm going to try to get them up and running. Well, I don't really need to, do I? I don't want to push out because I know there's that Midland ambush just camping there waiting for me to make a move and get destroyed. I don't plan to give him that pleasure. So I'm gonna level this up. I guess I should probably just level this up, get my mammoths going. Aceling's Conclave can wait. Get more money. It's more important. I definitely wish I could retake Syokatrak and retake Frozen Landing and all those. That would be very nice boost as well. But currently just stuck with this. I'm going to try to get on top of these guys soon. I could get another Regiment of Renown. Maybe I will. Against Empire, more mobility is probably good. And I'll get these units. This is going to be a very expensive army. It's a bit of a defensive army, but then again, that is what Regiments of Renown are basically used for, so that's what it is. And then a little bit I'll still being able to counterattack against these guys. So yeah. So I'm being attacked by Boris, Toadbringer, and a huge stack of units, and I don't. My army is very badly mauled, and he has. Well, I don't actually know if this is a stronger comp than the one they had before, but I'm definitely mauled. Ulrich Kammerheim. I still have those Marauder champions to kind of linchpin my army around. Could auto-resolve it, but I... Yeah, I think this will be the last fight. I'm simply gonna. This is gonna be the last battle I'm gonna do, and then I'll think I'll call it a episode at that point. So I'm just gonna go in. I think I have a very solid chance here. I'm gonna be. I just have to be very aggressive and make sure to hit them before they hit me with their reinforcements. They do have that rocket battery, which could be a very big pain. I'm gonna have to try to spread my units out as much as I possibly can, or bait. Maybe try to get hounds on top of it, something like that. It is placing my chances as lower than they were before. I definitely want to use my crappy garrison marauders as cannon fodder to kind of tank the blow. I'm gonna throw my lord and mammoth in the center. Trolls out on the sides. Maws of Savagery are gonna be able to shut down. Let's see if knights. I think the reinforcing army has knights. Is how this is. So I'm gonna be able to put the Maws of Savagery though. Well, let's see. I'll put the Beasts of Tashnar out on a far flank, ready to intercept that army and just jump their unit. Or well, let's see. Where's the rockets are? I can't actually see the rockets. I don't. There we go. There's the Hellstorm rockets are dead in the back. That's really frustrating. I'm gonna throw the Beast of Tashnar over here and see if I can get them into the fray. The spears are really mauled. They got stuck in some pretty inconvenient fighting last time around. I'm gonna spread them out and throw them out on the flanks to try to use them as support cannon fodder type unit. Actually, I just realized I have the enemy reinforcing armies coming into my back line. So I completely misjudged this. That is wow. Never mind, this makes things even easier. Just gonna throw this army here. Back up with these guys. Back up with that. Back up with them and throw them in the third stance and put them on guard this time around so they don't run amok and get wrecked. I'm gonna throw the Brutes of the Hound over here. those guys out in the flank. The spears, I don't even know. The spears are kind of trash. I'll put them over here. And then I'll actually leave the Beasts of Tashnar out here. I'm gonna try to make use of them to jump those. Stay hidden. I'm gonna try to get them on top of the Hellstorm. And I'm just gonna sit tight over here and let my opponent come onto the field. Now there are some unbreakable. I'm gonna go straight for the handgunners. I'm gonna throw these guys straight at the Empire Knights. I'm gonna take 3 groups straight into those halberds. Trying to get on top of those crossbows, trying to get on top of those handguns. And as you can see, those Empire Knights are getting absolutely demolished. It's pretty pitiful. There's that mortar team over there. But hopefully soon the Muslim Savagery will tear through these knights. Soul Crusher over here just doing work, as is usual, I suppose. I shouldn't be too surprised. Try to break those halberdiers. Gonna push these spears into the flank and get the Muslim Savagery on top. As you can see, the Muslim Savagery don't take like any damage fighting knights. In my opinion, the Muslim Savagery it's a strange. I think the regular skin wolves are pretty, even before the nerf, were pretty mediocre. Whereas the yeah, I definitely think that the normal skin wolves are a bit mediocre. Whereas the will these guys go down already? Flagellants, that can take a while, I suppose. Whereas those Muslim Savagery, even after their nerf, I think are still one of the best cavalry counters in the game. I'm gonna try to push my. Gonna push the hounds in, and now once those flagellants are gone, I can push the Muslim Savagery into this guy. Have him run him down. Oh, set up a line there. I'm not even gonna bother pursuing that guy. This just isn't gonna work. Hopefully the Muslim Savagery can catch him. It's not worth wasting my time and effort on that. In the meantime, my dogs are gonna go after the Hellstorm. The Hellstorm is the biggest threat to me by far. I need to spread these guys out very quickly, or otherwise they're dead. With their lack of armor, even these handful of splashes are already gonna do massive amounts of work, and it actually managed to get 2 kills in a single volley, which I guess it might not look impressive, and I guess it isn't. But like, given that it's firing at max range against, and it's a low end Hellstorm rocket battery, it's just wiped out, and now it's shattered. It's gone. I'm gonna make sure it's slaughtered, because I don't want it ever coming back. Gonna get these Outriders with grenade launchers. Just keep running amok. I don't know what my Beasts of Tashnar are doing, or not Beasts of Tashnar. They should be killing Ulrich over here. Is he dead yet? No. Kill him! There we go. I'm gonna start pushing into my opponent. Just gonna plow straight in. Now you can see the dogs are doing well against the crossbows. They're just gonna tear through them, and then I can sick them on the Outriders. Trolls over here, kind of trundling forward, and yeah. Push the halberds back and get the dogs onto the Outriders. Pop the fence. Get marauders into these fights. My trolls, though, are not going to do well here at all. They're, of course, going to falter pretty quickly. My lord is trying to get in on fight Boris. I don't know where Boris is. He was in here a second ago. And I lost track of him. Oh, Boris actually pulled back. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm going to try to cycle charge into the back of this infantry. Unfortunately, the mammoth is being very, very badly hindered by the... I don't know where my dogs are. There they are. Let me get up to the crossbows. Mammoth is still kind of rampaging around, crushing through these swords. Maws of Savagery should be in here. Oh boy, I didn't get my Maws going. That's definitely a problem. The halberds are causing me trouble as well because I'm very dependent on my large units to do large amounts of hurt, and they're actually... The halberds are causing enough hurt to them to prevent them from really doing much. I don't know where the mammoth is. Okay, Soul Crusher's doing its job. And gonna go after these handguns. Well, I think one of my spears either got wiped out or just routed. So I'm gonna try to keep pushing around, just keep bullying my opponent. Unfortunately, Soul Crusher needs to pop this. I need to chew through these flagellants as quickly as I possibly can. I don't know where my dogs went. They're on top of the handguns by the look of it. And my opponent's army, I guess, is just gonna rout here. Gonna try to get some kills off. Obviously, these flagellants are gonna get slaughtered to a man. I'm gonna let the Maws of Savagery do most of the work if I can, because they will do very well against them. And nowadays you have to be careful about not losing your regiments around. Before they were kind of expendable, you could be like, oh, I lost them to man. Who cares? The regiments are renowned. You can just recruit them back as long as you have the money. That's not the case anymore. So definitely, they've been made a lot more. This is of a not a questionable pick, but a pick that needs micro. I'm not gonna bother chasing those guys. So yeah, pretty solid performance there. I wiped out most of Boris's army. Took out some of his most dangerous units, including the Outriders and the Hellstorms. Bled quite a bit on some of my units. I'm not entirely sure how the champions ended up doing. As you can see, the Beasts of Tash just didn't work. They almost matched the Mammoth, and they cost only a quarter of what it does. So yeah, they're a monster. Or they're a monsters unit. But yeah. So I'm gonna sacrifice captives, of course. Get money. I do wonder if Nordland's going to attempt to attack. No, they're not. Okay, they do have a bit of a brain. So I could chase Boris down here. I think that is what I will do. I'm not too concerned about that army over there, but I do want to kill off Boris if I can. Just simply auto-resolve it. No real reason to do otherwise. And yeah, you're gonna finish this turn up, and yeah. So discussing future stuff. Obviously, they get to run. Oh well, that sucks. But okay, I'm gonna pull back to Norden. So discussing some future stuff. I'm going to be doing more guides, obviously, like you've seen me like I've been doing for a while now. But I'm going to be working on more of them. I'm also going to be going. I got to go after Middenheim too here. Just crush them in the next few turns. But I'll be doing more guides. Wood Elves are the next series coming in. I'll be doing Wood Elves, then following up with Arguelon, going over all the various tidbits. Of playing the niche and nuance and whatever, I don't know, of playing them. Hopefully so yeah, I'll be we're doing Wood Elf guides. Plus, I actually don't even need to invest anymore in leveling this area up, just for economy. So sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. So I'll be working on, obviously, I'll keep doing the quick match uploads as often as I can. At least that on that daily schedule. I'll be doing, I'll continue doing these guides. There's still a lot to do. Nowhere near done. I still have over half the factions to do, and then obviously it's going to keep going once Total War Warhammer 2 hits. So not just going to lay down and stop after being done with with a not gonna bother leveling this up. So yeah, it's not gonna stop with Total War 1. I'm obviously gonna keep working on it, keep trying to improve and everything and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, stay on the lookout for new content. Gonna be working on all those things, new guides, new quick match. I might start doing some playthroughs or let's plays of other stuff as well. We'll see how my time and schedule allows me to, what it allows me to do. And yeah, hopefully I'll have another episode of Wulfrik up soon enough. As usual, I appreciate you all for watching. If you like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. If you have any comments, criticism, any ideas on what I should do or what you'd like to see next or any of that sort of stuff, be sure to leave those down in the comments. I'll respond. If you have any questions as well, be sure to ask those comments. I'll respond as soon as I possibly can. As usual, thank you all for watching, and Wyvern out.